Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning. Mama's microphone is not on.
Yes.
Oh. Good morning.
So today we'll be talking about the yidam. So put up your hands, all those of you who have had experience with meditating upon the deity.
I got a half hand
Okay.
So some people are like halfway. So for those that just put their hands up halfway, it's like halfway. Not sure what I should say to you.
How to teach.
Yeah, how to teach. So the word yidam, with these two syllables, the first syllable, yi, comes from the word ye, means from the very beginningless time. So beginningless time. And dam is referring to like bound by of the same family. So it is the deity that from the very beginningless time is of the same family as you yourself. How many families are there? There are 5. So to subsume that, and it's subsumed into 5 families. And if you like a more expanded version, there are 6 or 25 or 100 and 720. There's many.
So if
If you bring it all into one, there is just one family. So generally we describe this according to the 5 families. And so these 5 families are the Vajra family, the Ratna family, Lotus family, Karma family, and the Buddha family. And we all have the 5 mind poisons, which are the pride, jealousy, desire, stupidity, and anger.
가만히 사단 명이 찍었어요.
사단이
그냥 가서 Ranjuma.
Ranjuma.
Nyawa yida dulu mi lama ini nyawa yida dulu sih. Lama ini ada mi yang betul. Ranjuma.
And so, from the sentient being not recognizing the nature of these five emotions of the pride, jealousy, desire, stupidity, and anger, then the sentient being is bound into the cycle of birth, into what are called the five pathways of entering existence, which are the five realms of the hell realm, hungry ghost realm, animal realm, the demigod's realm, and then in this way of categorizing, the human realm and the god's realm are put into one. So from the non-recognition, the sentient being travels into the five paths of becoming. And so based upon the interdependent arising of all phenomena, based upon the presence of the conflicting emotion within the mind, then externally this appears as the realm of existence, the corresponding realm of existence. So for instance, and so from the interdependence of the presence of the anger, then externally there appears the world in the form of the hell realm. And from the interdependence of the, for instance, of the presence of pride, there appears the God's realm. If one recognizes the essence of these conflicting emotions, they appear as the five wisdoms. And so these five wisdoms is not something any other than the five emotions, these five conflicting emotions. The essence of the five emotions is are the five wisdoms. And so from the recognition of this essence of the emotions as the five wisdoms, then based upon the interdependence of these five wisdoms, then there is the self-radiance or the self-luminosity of those five wisdoms that manifest as the external container, meaning the universe, that appears as the five Buddha lands, pure realms. And the contents, meaning the beings, appear as the deities. So for instance, from the presence of the from the presence And so from the recognition of the essence, for instance, from the recognition of the essence of the conflicting emotion of anger, then recognizing that essence as the wisdom, then from the self-luminosity of the wisdom appears the container and its contents of the world and the beings. And so in the case of the recognizing the essence of anger, then there appears the container which is the eastern paradise or the eastern pure land of Nirvana. And within it, the contents is the Buddha Akshobhya and the beings of that family, the Vajra family, or of the recognition of the essence of the nature of pride. Then the self-luminosity of that wisdom of recognition appears as the outer vessel of the pure land called Baldindempi, called Baldindempi. Pure land, and the contents is the Buddha Rinchen Jundin or Ratna Sambhava, really?
Yeah.
Ratna Sambhava.
That's right. Then 신감스럽게 터가리라 그랬어. 맨손 속에도 와리라 그랬어.
And so therefore the Pure Lands are up. And the lower realms are down. So if you want to go up to the Pure Lands, you can get there.
By rocket.
By rocket ship.
이제는 터가 들어와.
But it's way up high up there, so who knows, it might be cold.
So nice.
Just kidding.
미만 뭐지 가르친 거예요. 신감스레 야야였어. 내가 많이 어떻게
So many people think that the Pure Land is up and the lower realms are down. There's no basis for this.
산지에 마크로와 야양데 라는 나와요.
The Buddha said that this idea of up there is nirvana and down there is samsara, this is one's own individual projection. And the Buddha said that if you recognize the essence of the hell, then it is the eastern pure land of Nirvana. You don't have to look for it somewhere else. It is the essence of the hell realm. And this idea of east, south, west, north, and so on, this is the projection, collective projection of sentient beings. Actually, there are no directions. And if you recognize this that you seem to believe is the human realm, if you recognize the essence, nature of this human realm, it is the Western paradise, the paradise of great bliss of the lotus family. There's nowhere else you have to look for it. So what does this mean of recognizing the essence? Essence is emptiness. Recognizing the essence of emptiness is the experience or the practice according to the sutra. Recognizing the essence of one's own mind's nature is the practice of the way of the secret mantra. Based upon, like on top of the recognition of emptiness, then one must have this secret mantrayana recognition of the nature of one's own mind. So, as I said, that with by the recognition of the essence of the defilements of these conflicting emotions, then there appears the pure realms of the Eastern Vajra, the Eastern Vajra pure realm, and the Ratna, the Padma, and the Karma and the Buddha realms of these pure realms. So these arise from the recognition of the essence of the conflicting emotions. And in the condition of non-recognition of the state of these emotions, then there appears the realm that we perceive, for instance, of the human realm. And within the human realm, there are the 5 families within the human realm. So within the human realm, there are Vajra family humans, Ratna family, Lotus family, Karma family, Buddha family humans. And so, if you want, for instance, if I am a Vajra family human and I practice the Vajra family yidam, who's from the very beginningless time is of the same family as I, so it's the Vajra family yidam, then these accomplishments and the blessings will arise more rapidly. This doesn't only apply to the human realm, so if I'm born of the Vajra family, then I'm born as a Vajra human. Or if I was born in the animal realm, I would be a Vajra family animal. Or in the God's realm, a Vajra family God.
How to choose?
And so, should you ask, well, so how do you choose the yidam? You decide at the time of one of the great empowerments. And so during the time of the greater empowerments, then you have the image of the four-petaled, like a four-petaled lotus with the central middle. And so, this is presented as the mandala into which you must toss either the tooth stick, and you toss that, or else a flower that you toss into onto this plate with the 4 petals in the center. And so these 4 petals represent the 4 families of the Vajra, Ratna, Padma, and Karma, and the center is the Buddha family. And so when you toss in the toothstick or the flower, wherever that flower should land, if it lands in whichever family that lands in, then that is the family. If it's whether it's a Vajra, Ratna, Padma, Karma, or Buddha, if it lands in the center, it's the Buddha family. And so thus, from that one is able to see what is the conducive yidam for you to practice. So whatever family that falls in, then one must practice the yidam of that family. However, these days we don't do that so much. And so these days the empowerments are much abridged. So accepting the greater empowerments, and even in those, it's a very brief, just to have a quick look at what occurs at that time. So why is this? Should you ask, why is this? And the reason for this is due to the one single pith instruction, which is that all of the deities are of the same essence. And practicing one deity and accomplishing that one deity, then all of the blessings and accomplishments of all the deities arise. So based upon that instruction, then we don't have to bother so much with examining all of these signs. And so, based upon this recognition that all the deities in essence are the same, this is wisdom. And so, based upon that, accomplishing that practice of that deity, then one accomplishes all the deities. Therefore, it is based upon which yidam one really likes. So, this concludes my discussion on the yidam. So now, I have no more dharma to talk about. So should we just leave now? So how should you meditate upon the yidam? And so I'm going to explain why we need to meditate upon the yidam. As the Buddha spoke, then the Dharma is taught in accordance with the needs of the individuals that are to be trained. So for this reason there is the Hinayana, the Mahayana, secret Mantrayana. This is according to the propensity and needs of the individual beings. And once again, the beings also fall into the categories of those of the Hinayana family, of the Mahayana family, of the Vajrayana family. And so if the teaching is in accordance with the individual's needs, it's very beneficial. And so if, although the Dharma teaching may be extremely profound, very high teaching. If this is bestowed upon the inappropriate vessel, meaning the recipient is the one to be trained, then although the Dharma is very profound, it cannot benefit. So in the same way, you have the English sort of proverb that you can't put a square peg in a round hole.
나는 릭 가리이봐. 그 가리지 하고 그랬어요. 딱 그거지. 취업 강나 가는데 나는 암초로 트나. 가와 또. 그래서 가. 그때 나랑 야구도 삼바데. 딱 조치는데. 근데 나랑 대지는 틀렸다. 나는 진짜 때문에 대신 상아 릭 가라. 조치 나서 릭 딱 타면 왜? 나는 조로 그래. 나는 생각 봐. 이때 야구도 있잖아.
And so, in terms of determining which family you are of the type of teaching, namely Hina, Maha, or Vajra type of family, then there are many different methods for determining what type the individual is, but the main method is how you feel when you hear the teaching. And so when you hear the teaching and you think, oh, that's wonderful, and you really connect with that teaching, you feel that's really very good, that feeling of enjoyment there is the sign of which type of teaching you belong to.
Yeah? 나랑 당보다 되게 강원지야 저거야. 그냥 로이드 로야 공공 해 싫어.
And furthermore, though one may have that experience to begin with, of that liking that particular, belonging to that particular family corresponding to the yana, then as one progresses, then one's mind develops and changes, and one can gradually go up through the levels like that. So it's not set that one is just this one family. So this discussion on the yidam pertains to the Vajrayana vehicle. And within the Vajra vehicle, there's three principal divisions. And so, within the Vajra vehicle, then the individual has propensities in three different ways. So, for instance, the individual that on hearing the descriptions of all of the yidams, all of the deities, all the colors and the shapes and the mandalas and all about those, the individual that really likes that and is drawn and attracted to that individual the Buddha taught one should teach the arising stage. And then, and because of this, all of this is mind created, namely it's called the labeling everything attitude that the individual has that will associate with all of those yidams. So the one that likes that is the appropriate vessel for the arising stage. And then there's others who don't like so much form and all those different details, but really likes the idea of the nadis and the chakras and the winds and so on. And so to that individual, one teaches the training of the Talung Tigli training of the nadi wind and the tigles. And then for the individual that is drawn to or likes completely unelaborated teachings without any kind of attributes associated with the teachings, to that individual it's the appropriate vessel to teach nature of mind. Each of these methods or approaches must be approached with a preliminary and the main body of the practice. So these three paths all ultimately lead to the same center. All of them are methods to recognize the essence nature of mind. So now this discussion of the yidam is based in the aspect of the arising stage. And so in the arising stage, then one has the impure appearance of one's own body, one's speech, one's mind, and the one's world. These are the four impurities. And so in the practice of the yidam, one transforms the appearance of these four impure into the four pure appearance of the deity, mantra, and so on. So, so it transforms from impure appearance to pure appearance. But then the pure appearance must be transformed to the essence, the recognition of the essence of mind, which is called the extremely, utterly pure. So at that point, both pure and impure are transformed in the recognition of the nature of mind. At that point, there is no pure or impure. And this is called extremely pure. And so in this process of transforming the impure to the pure, then one meditates upon one's body as the deity, one's speech is the mantra, one's mind is the samadhi of the deity, and the outer world as the pure land. And in training, in this practice, the training must be conducted of bringing together Shine and Patong, which is the shamatha, vipassana, what we call calm abiding and profound insight.
이니 사나이가 탁 해봐요. 이담도 사직 공부할 때 네가 돌아 신년하면 이가 된 두요래.
But however, the secret Mantrayana is extremely skillful, it's very skillful means. And so by this practice of the meditation upon the yidam, then the Shine and Hatong are unified just in that practice.
신년한도이 뒤수 찍어야 공투였어. 뒤수 찍어 신년한도이 그냥 공투.
And thus, in this practice, one meditates simultaneously on the shamatha and the vipassana. Shine Hatong. Is it okay I say Shine Hatong? Yeah.
가늘에서는 하이 나와라 많이 받대 신년에 대유고 나는 좀 또 동신 나와 나도 소주 주마다 오고 대한도.
So the meditation upon the appearance of the deity is the shine, and the recognition. Oh, I don't know.
Mayimba.
Mayimba. Oh, undistracted.
Yeah, undistracted. That's now mayimba.
So the undistracted meditation upon the appearance of the deity is the shine. And the recognition that it is the union of emptiness and appearance, that it is the unity, the union of emptiness and appearance, just like an illusion, recognizing that in essence it's like that. This is the hatong. And so, in that practice of meditation upon the deity, then thus the shine and the latong are perfected simultaneously. The essence of the shine is non-distraction. One could say non-distraction, or one could call it mindfulness.
Or awareness.
Or awareness. These three are the same meaning.
That's right. Awareness.
So, non-distraction, mindfulness, awareness, one meaning. So, for instance, in the shine practice, then you focus, you meditate undistracted on the passing of the breath. And so that one may say that one is not non-distracted and one maintains this focus on the breath. Or you can say one is mindful of the breath, or one is aware of the breath. The point is that it is the so each one of these three, same meaning. And so whether one is resting on the breath, or one is resting upon the visualization of the deity, the appearance of the deity, then that resting accomplishes the shine. And it's the same mindfulness as the mindfulness on the breath. And so in the case of the meditation on the deity, there is this focus of the visualization, and that resting on that visualization is the shine.
시와지고 이랬어.
So what is the meaning of this shine? Shi meaning calm, ne meaning abiding. So we call it calm abiding. So we must develop this calm abiding. Generally speaking, we do not have this calm abiding. Normally, our mind is just like a monkey, like a mad monkey. So normally, whatever appears to our eyes in the world of form, we look at that, or we hear sounds. We hear that we hear the sound, or with our nose we smell all the different smells. And on top of that, we cultivate all kinds of conflicting emotions associated with those various sensory experiences. Looking at form, hearing sound, this is no problem, but together with that comes the suffering and it makes problems. So one sees, and what one doesn't like to see, what's unpleasant, what thinks is unpleasant to see, one develops anger and dislike. And on top of that comes fear and all kinds of unpleasant feelings. And so then we see something pleasant, and then we look at that and become attached to it, and we think we like it, we enjoy it, and then on top of that comes all kinds of emotions of desire, attachment, fear, anger, all kinds of things occur around that. And the point is, we have no control of the mind. It goes under the control of the objective world. Sometimes I have no suffering in the mind.
Little bit.
So at that time, when the mind doesn't have any problems, doesn't have any suffering, then I will generate problems.
No, I don't have problem. What's that?
So this is just like knocking oneself on the head with a hammer. And so this is how it is. There's like a time with no problems, no suffering, and so we make suffering, and then that becomes very big suffering. We turn it into bigger and bigger suffering. But if some bigger problem comes along, then that problem that we created, that just disappears, and now we have this new problem. I'll give you an example.
Music, 하나님 클라스에 유튜브인 하나님께서 기부인 맨날 깔릴 적도 없어. 대가리는 하나 빠질 적도 없어요.
One man says, oh, I've got plenty to eat, I'm nice and wealthy, I have everything that I need, no problems and so on, but I just have one problem.
This bothers me all the time.
That bothers me all the time.
깔레데 가르쳐는 나는 좀 뭐라 아니야 가보였어. 가보였어. 너 뭐라 안 보였어.
And this problem is that I love to drive. I like to go all over the place driving a car.
아마 뭐라 안 저기 로 말도와 로 가와. 가서 로 말도 가와. 뒤타 녀버데나 로 가와 차 말한 거를 क्या 마시 된 거지.
And the problem is that I drive around, and when I see the red traffic lights, I just have this feeling that the post that holding the lights or the light will fall, and it'll fall on my car, on my head, and I will die.
그냥 뭐라도 로 가와서 그냥 나한테 색깔이 덮었어. 뭐라 땅에 더워요. 뭐라 땅 맞고 살 것어. 나 선절치 않는데 칼라산도 니꾸무도 살.
And so, therefore, when I drive and I approach the red lights, I feel really bad. I'm scared and I don't like this. And so the thing that I love to do, which is to drive, I can't do it anymore because I feel upset. And because of that, I can't eat and I can't sleep. This is meaningless, right? This traffic light falling down is most unlikely. This man, he had everything he needed, no problems, plenty to eat and so on. But in that state of no problems, he made this problem. So in this, what is the method to pacify this problem, suffering? It is pacified by means of skillful means and wisdom. The aspect of the method is mindfulness or awareness. And the aspect of the wisdom is to know and recognize the nature of things. And so in this wisdom aspect, then how is this? This is what we must do, is to recognize that we create this problem ourselves. This is one's own creation, and then one clings and tightens up around that self-created problem. We must recognize that. That recognition is wisdom. This is the first step of wisdom. All experience of pleasure and pain is generated by one's own mind. And so then the second progression of the increasing of wisdom is the recognition of impermanence, of how all things are interdependent, the interdependence of all things. This is the second aspect of recognition of wisdom. And the third is to recognize emptiness. The essence of all is emptiness. And then the fourth level is to recognize the nature of one's own mind. And so, as one has this recognition, then the clinging, grasping, fixation is pacified. And as this grasping is pacified, then wisdom is born. Wisdom appears. And as wisdom appears, then the suffering, problems, and the conflicting emotions are pacified. Now this, the aspect of the method is the mindfulness. The first level of the method is mindfulness. And this mindfulness is what generates power and strength to the mind. Because generally, normally, one's mind does not have any self-control. It's like this paper. Yeah, look, you blow it goes like that. It goes back and forth. If you pin it down with one pin, then it doesn't blow around, right? And so we have this self-nature of its power or strength of the mind. It has that in and of itself. It has its own stillness and calmness. This is the nature of the awareness. And so if one is able to increase this quality, this natural quality of the power and stillness of the mind itself, which is its nature, then this is like the best way to develop well-being.
Inner well-being. Inner well-being.
Inner well-being. Inner peace and happiness. Yeah.
Anyway.
That's it.
Then, that's the end. Vitamin. So what vitamin say?
That's it.
Look at something new, but look at something you didn't give.
As an example, you take vitamins. So these vitamins, when you take those, what happens is that the strength and vitality of the body is enhanced. And this is the strength and vitality of the body, and that is increased by taking the vitamins.
Exercise also.
But you must also do some exercise.
Also
at the same time. Yeah. Money.
Exercise. That's what. Exercise.
That's it.
Same meaning.
Oh,
That's the look at something new, but something you didn't give. Exercise. Look at something new, but you didn't give. Vitamin saw in it. Look at something new, but you didn't.
So taking these kinds of vitamins or performing physical exercise, what this does is it increases the strength and the naturally present strength of the body. So in the same way, the mind needs vitamins and exercise.
Exercise.
And so the vitamin for the mind is this mindfulness, and the exercise for the mind is that focus that upon which one rests the mindfulness, such as the visualization. So So if one is able to encourage and increase this natural strength and vitality of the body, then one becomes very strong and resilient to any kind of disease, and any disease that one may have had is then eliminated. And one lives long and feels strong, right? And so if one is unable to increase this natural vitality and strength of the body, if one doesn't develop that, then however much medicine you take won't do you any good. And so without developing that strength and vitality, then suppose you have some liver problem, you take the liver medicine, that liver may be fixed, but then you have a problem in the kidney, and then you take medicine for that, and then you have a problem somewhere else. And so the condition of the ailment just wanders around the body like doing its circle.
Amen. 이 난신도 시와 대화 또 쌤을 보고 쌤 남기 시대마다 직모르고 시대에 내가 지금 말이야 가서 그래 반주리 년차에 드리려는데 줄을 와 반주리 줄 년차에 줄 저거 나서 그냥 줄을 빈줄도 아무데나 쳐지는 거예요.
And so one must achieve this happiness and well-being, contentment in the mind itself. So if we rely upon external conditions for happiness and well-being, such as prosperity or a nice girlfriend or whatever, or boyfriend, or fame and renown and so on, then and one relies on that, one feels happy from that. The nature of those things is impermanent, it changes, and then when that's gone, then one has a great deal of suffering thereafter.
아니 롱주 때 말하는 팬이고 토요. 아니 대주는 대주 도마치.
So, for instance, just suppose looking at the thing of wealth and possessions, then if one has a great deal of clinging, fixation on wealth and possessions as being the source of one's happiness, and one has to have that for happiness, and then one fixates upon that, then due to that grasping and fixation, then one cannot enjoy or make good use of this wealth and possessions, and two, when things change, one is extremely unhappy and suffers a great deal. Then when that disappears, then the individual will see that there was no meaning, it was meaningless, and then we'll grasp at another thing, and then when that disappears, then we'll think, oh, there's no meaning in that, and gradually the individual becomes depressed, very sad, lonely, and filled with self-loathing. The reason for this is complete lack of wisdom. It's lack of and so is without the wisdom aspect and this where we described that was the wisdom and the mindfulness. Method. Yeah. Without wisdom and method, so because one is without wisdom and method, one suffers in this way. So because of this, to recognize the nature of this is very important. So it's like if one sees a mask, someone in a mask of one of these groups of masks, then if one knows that it's just a mask, one does not have any problem around that. But if one thinks, oh, it's really a demon, then there's all kind of suffering. And so with this recognition, then one becomes very much at ease, and everything comes easy. Everything is very easy. One doesn't need so much effort. One feels light and at ease, and without so many problems. And one can, one's work can proceed very easily. You can drive a car very well. And so with this attitude of well-being and contentment like that, with this mind being at rest and relaxed, then driving your car, then you have far less accidents, you will not, you do far less misturns, and you'll probably get there quicker. And so if you are all uptight and zipping around in the traffic thinking, oh my God, I'm late or whatever, then you're more likely to have accidents, make the wrong turn, and you won't get there on time anyway. So this generating the strength and vitality of the body, it cannot be limitless. It's not limitless. The body will change, the body will die, the body will collapse. But the mind is continuous forever. And so the mind, the strength and the power of the mind can become infinite. And so, for instance, if although we may not attain Buddhahood in this lifetime, but if we start the work of going to Buddhahood, then the mind over lifetimes will continue on this path to Buddhahood.
Chinese.
Now we take a break for 10 minutes.
Break meditation. 그러니까 지금 가상 왕주와 하는 왕.
Some people are asking, well, what was the meaning of the empowerment from the other day? So this was the empowerment of Guru Rinpoche.
Rinpoche 남주준이 있으지. 제가 준이도 그래서 뛰고
So this was the empowerment of Guru Rinpoche, of the transmission of the 12 great enlightened acts of Guru Rinpoche. And it's called the Tiki one?
Take one, yes. Number two, yes. Number two, yes.
Yeah. So it's called the empowerment of the 12 enlightened acts. And in brief, it's called the empowerment of that clarifies all obstacles from the path, clears obstacles from the path. And some people say, well, having received this empowerment, what is the recitation or what is the practice that one must keep up? So if you can keep up like a daily recitation, this is very good. If not, that's okay. So there is one daily recitation that is just a few pages. So if you are unable to do that recitation, then simply to begin with, go for refuge, develop bodhicitta, and imagine that Guru Rinpoche is in the sky in front, and you pray, and then you do the Benza Guru mantra. Imagine that Guru Rinpoche dissolves into you, and then you sit there thinking you have become Guru Rinpoche. And at the end, then do the dedication of the merit. And then that's it. And so then each day, if you are able to do 100 of the Benza Guru mantras, that's okay. Or 50, that's okay. Or 21, that's okay. And if you can do more than 100, that's very good. So that concludes my discussion on that. So I'm explaining how to meditate upon the deity. And so first of all, one goes for refuge and then generates the bodhicitta, thinking that I intend to meditate and do this practice of this yidam deity in order to benefit all sentient beings and establish them in total enlightenment. In terms of the method of meditating upon the yidam deity, there are many methods.
Sordunas,
bring it all, subsuming this.
Ludan, Mata, Children, Jigging, Tomba Joseph.
So to bridge all this, one first of all imagines that the body and the external world it disappears. And then one rests, relaxes for a little while.
After 5 seconds or 1 minute.
5 seconds or 1 minute.
And then
And then at the end of that, thinking of sentient beings, that, sentient beings have not understood the nature of emptiness, then you give rise to compassion for all beings. And so thinking that in order to benefit all sentient beings, with this, out of this compassion, this thought must come. In order to benefit all sentient beings, then I will I will establish the form of the deity. And then instantly you can appear as the deity. This is the brief, abridged method. And so then you, from your heart, you emanate light out that invokes the wisdom deity from the pure land that is invoked and then dissolves into you. And then from your heart emanates light outwards.
Not yet.
Not yet. So, in terms of the practice of the yidam, there are 3 principles. First is to rely upon the Vajra pride, the pride of the deity, and the clarity of the deity, and the recognition of the utter purity. Those are the 3 aspects. And out of these 3, the most important is to elevate the pride, the Vajra pride. So what is this Vajra pride? This is this thought, I am the deity.
I am the Vajrasattva.
That I am Bodhisattva. But I am not America. American. I'm not English. I'm not Easterner. I'm Buddha. All of those qualities and powers of the Buddha, I have all of those. All the blessings, I have that blessing. I have the omniscience and the wisdom and the power and the love. This is the relative, in the relative sense. But in the absolute sense, my essence and the essence of the deity is one essence. You really are the deity, but you haven't recognized it, and therefore you wander in samsara. Therefore, I really am the deity. So, up until now, I have not realized, I have not recognized that which is. Today, I have recognized that I really am the deity.
전부 겁나 인테그레.
You can meditate it very big,
중중 겁나 인테그레.
or you can meditate the deity very small.
중중 겁이야. 기라노 바보리레나 람절 지게나 이래서는 인테그레.
And if you meditate on it very big, then it's okay for you to think that in every single little pore there is the whole vast, infinite Pure Lands within each pore, infinite universe within each pore of your body. Like that, thinking, oh, it's so big, so vast. So whether small or big, whichever you prefer, you may meditate that way. However, you must realize that it is emptiness, its appearance, though it is appearance, it is emptiness. Though it is emptiness, it is appearance. And it's just like a dream, or just like the reflection in a mirror. Like the reflection of the moon in water. And if you can cultivate the visualization of all of the body color and the implements, the ornaments and so on, then this is very good. But if not, it's okay. The most important is to adopt this Vajra pride of thinking, I am the deity. So that's the first step. That concludes the first step. The second is the complete clarity aspect of the visualization. For you beginners to achieve this clarity, it's quite difficult. Because you have this clinging or grasping. And you're thinking, oh, I must make it clear, I must meditate in a clear way. And I've got all the shape and the colors of all the implements and ornaments of the deity, I must meditate on that. If you have that kind of clinging, it cannot come very clear. Like when you meditate, if you like that, then you meditate, so you think about the head, then the body and the legs disappear. Or you maybe think about the legs and you lose your head. So therefore this is not the arising stage, this is the destructive stage. And so the appearance of this deity must be just like, just in the mind, just sort of, just knowing, or just mindfulness of that form of the deity. And for you generally to attain that complete clarity of the image of the deity, this is quite difficult. So I ask you, is it easy for you or difficult?
Difficult. Yeah.
What's the difficulty?
Well, just what you said. When you visualize the head, the feet, and the legs are all gone, or a little part, or it's all kind of blurry. It's not clear.
You get distracted, and the whole thing disappears.
what's your main place where you go, where you become distracted? What distracts you the most?
The degrees, malam degrees.
So you don't have to say.
I think it's my physical body. I can't sit still that long after I've sat before the practice and then the whole refuge and everything. And by the time I get to the visualization, I'm already, something doesn't sit still.
And in your mind, what appears in your mind?
I'm hungry.
Then go eat. That's okay.
Yeah.
I think.
Oh, the other ones.
Maybe push something.
The lights on, just speak right into the...
Okay, I think those deities are very strange looking.
That's very good.
I get really nervous about those things. You know, they're all big and spooky and so
I did.
yeah.
Very good. You brought this up.
Too many other strange things in here. So those guys are too weird for me.
Very good use.
냠 당보 레사로까지 찍어봤다고 했어요. 냠 당보 레사로까지 레사로 칸이
This is very good because to begin with, the experience is just like the waterfall flowing from a steep mountain.
레사로까지 찍어봤대.
So at that time, then the water rushes down the side of the mountain, going left, right, back and forth, and swirling around.
냠 당보대라 하이 넘버 들어와 카도 들어와 입 들어와 달리는 거예요.
And at that time, then, in meditating on the deity, then the color changes, the shape changes, the whole, everything changes, and it seems to be changing, not staying the same. This is very good.
저는 냠 당보 좋아해요.
So to you, you got the very first experience. It doesn't. So it doesn't matter that sometimes you feel like it looks like a demon or spooky or whatever. It's no problem. This is very good first experience. So you should be happy, thinking, oh, this first level of the experience has occurred.
이나요? 내가 나라 하이 뭐 찍거래? 꿈도 잘 살고 주문이 많이 드리도 나라 하다 뭐 찍거래서는 되게.
But you can think that in essence I am the same as the deity. So whether or not you get all of the body color and the ornaments and so on all correct, it doesn't matter. The point is that I am the deity, in essence the same.
냠 바라봐도 추워 타는 거 같다.
And so at the middle of the experience is like the river flowing across the plain. And the end, at the end experience, it's like the river emptying into the great ocean. So it's like the waves on the great ocean. Like the waves breaking on the great ocean.
잠족하랑
That's it.
잠족하랑 발랍 매비 잠족하고
Oh, that's
발랍 매비 잠족하고
That's it. And the final experience is like the ocean without any waves, the still calm ocean.
당연히 지난소리야 탑지시
So I'm going to explain to you one method.
되는다 탑지 가르스는 남긴 지난소 검자들 이행을 유지로 이행하고 유 그냥 지난 그뭐만 그 내가 선물거래 뭐 차시 지난 그 강바 지난 그 샌프란시스코 자자 간에 이행만 도나 이행만 되는 건 좀 검색해요.
So what is this method I'm going to explain? So in your generally in your meditation there is a sort of your what you become distracted by. It might be some sensation, or it might be some work that you have done, or work that you have to do, or it might be something like what's the town of San Francisco like, or something like that. So I'm going to explain to you a method that utilizes your type of distraction, whatever it is that distracts you.
강바 명 만족 셈나라 제마이나 명당 입이 냠도 되어있어. 이제 딱 이렇게 명당 입 강바 입 지난주 검자고래. 입 명 만족이 자갈 써 야는 자갈게 명 야는 자갈게 입도 뮤직 자갈 되는 지어서 나와있나 시작해. 그래 뉴욕 뉴욕 입도 강바를 시작해. 샌프란시스코 라데 샌프란시스코 입도 강바를 어다티 입람 민 비니 강문주 어다 가래 예미 요리냐 되는 검자고 있어.
And so, when you become distracted, such as you think of like a house or a person, then as you become distracted, there is the shape, the form or the appearance or the shape of that object and the name associated with it. So it might be house, and then you've got the shape of the house. Or it might be India, and you think of the name India, and then you have some idea of the shape and the layout of India. So it's name and shape. Or it might be New York, and then you have the image of New York and the name. Or San Francisco, like that. So based upon the name and the shape, then there is the and so on top of that, we'll meditate.
그냥 믹스한 내가 야는 그냥 쌤나는 가래 살로 그냥 칸바 살로는 칸바 아바 아마 살로는 아바 내지 거기.
And so if you don't have that kind of typical distraction that happens, then whatever it is that comes clear to you in your mind, like your house or your mother or your parents or whatever it is that comes clear to you, then on that we will meditate. So how do we meditate on that? On that we rest the mind. So like this house, you must meditate on that. And do not be distracted from this house. So like that, we meditate like that. That's it.
지난번 강화대 강화한 유를 가래 있는데 쌀로 통성이 있어.
So now this house or whatever it is that became your focus, did you see it clearly?
지난 가래 통성.
What did you see?
House. What?
My
You,
room,
yes.
my kitchen, like the
Oh.
refrigerator, the sink, the plate, the microwave, the place to eat.
That's good.
Television.
Okay. 나는 또 양자스 책이 있어. 양자스 책.
Now we're going to do it again.
다른데 햇살 못다고 그랬어.
This time we're going to make it really clear.
강가 뒤집었다고 그랬어.
All together, all at once, everything coming completely clear.
One time.
At one time, yeah.
뒤집어. 강가 그냥 못다고 그랬어.
So in one instant, everything comes very clear.
우리 이제 남도 신다시는 지금 말했어. 남도 신다시는 not allowed to. any other thought.
Yeah, so do not have any other thought.
이제 my God says, that's
So then make yourself go, no distraction, look right at that.
니처럼 검찰했어.
That's it.
That is becoming your meditation.
And let this become your meditation.
처럼 검하고 차렸어.
Your meditation become very good.
이제 가르쳐는 신의 차렸어.
Because shamat or the shine will arise.
가르쳐는 신의 미루리로 신의 차렸어.
Yes. So this is the shine with this focus of the reference.
미루리로 신의 object.
Having the objective reference of your focus.
신의는 이, 미루리로 신의 이로 왔어.
There are two shines, right? There's the shine with an object of your focus and the shine with no object.
이제 다른데 신의 미루리로 신의 이로 했어.
So what arises from this is the shine with object.
빼냐고 했어.
It's very good.
딱 마행사.
So thus, no distraction.
남도 신다시는 지금 말했어.
You mustn't have any other thought.
이제 뒤집지가 강간량도 시작하고 그랬어.
And so in one instant, everything can come clear.
하여튼 내 검장이.
So now we're going to meditate like that again.
다음부터 들렸을 때 했어.
First of all, just relax.
여기 검는다.
Now, meditate and look at this object.
싸웠다고.
Make it clear.
뒤집지가 나갔어.
Everything come together at once.
살았어.
Complete, that's it.
나 지난 저같이 가르쳤어.
So now I'm asking you, so what happened this time?
Got clearer and brighter.
뒤집지가 나갔다 떴어요.
Did you get everything clear all at once?
Yeah.
장로 찔리 인연도 시작다 떴고 됐어. 장로 찔리.
Could you see the refrigerator and the television both at the same time?
Yeah.
Good.
Well, it's kind of a big kitchen. Yeah, pretty much.
Do something.
양자에서 빠졌다. 뒤집지가 딱 뚫고 이해하고싶다.
So again, look.
야, try again.
Try again.
Check.
Check again. Did you see everything all together?
장로단 튜브니 인형도 문에 따뜻도 도마서.
No, I was more scanning from one point.
So could you see the television and the refrigerator simultaneously?
No.
도마서.
아나다 인형도면은 다 장로단이지.
Okay, so then if not together, then let's look at the refrigerator.
장로에 강가 도시지로 따뜻도 도무스.
Ganga.
도시지.
Can you
장로도 차가. 장로도 차로. 차가 도시지로 따뜻도 도무스.
can you look at everything about the refrigerator all at once?
No.
아니 다 잘했다 도도 장로 차.
So what of the refrigerator can you see?
Tried to get in.
나고 송사도 와. 나고 송사 제와. 나네 찌라샤사지. 양 부를 찌라샤도. 차상 따뜻.
So, okay, so there's the handle for opening the refrigerator. And then inside there's all the shelves where you put the things and the compartments in the door. Can you see all of that together?
Yeah.
Have a close look at that. Examine that.
It's kind of like a split screen on the TV. I kind of see the stuff in the inside and the stuff in the door.
도시지로 따뜻.
All at once. Look at it all
One
together.
time.
I can see all the stuff inside at once, and I can look at the door.
나로는 보도록 가세요.
How many bottles you got inside?
보도록 시여가 있나?
I can count them.
Maybe you have 4 bottles?
More.
More.
보도록 내려네. 도시지로 보도록 하면 돼요.
So, all at once, can you see all of the bottles individually but all at once?
Yes.
One time.
Yeah.
도시지로. 양야시 따스. 사무스 따스.
Look again.
통신.
Did you see?
Yes and no.
기회를 드려봤어요.
This is what kidding, a rising stage is like.
Did I pass or did I
아무처럼 납성아. 잠깐 그냥 두고도 들어가요.
First of all, you said, yeah, I can see everything all together.
가래 쌤도 딱 지겨요.
Because at that point, just the mind, just sort of looking like that, just
벨리. 벨리 looking.
barely looking. Yeah.
네.
When you were barely looking,
내가 딱좀 지을까? 그냥 단가통만 들어오셔요.
and at that barely looking, just at that just barely looking moment, you saw everything all together.
되는 얘기 야고따고리 얘기 말을 쓰려고 했어.
And then I said, look carefully, examine again, and don't be distracted, etc. Then I said that, right?
안 말했어.
Then you became tight.
야고 싶다고도 줘버렸어.
And then you thought, oh, I must look very carefully.
장로 단 지금 뒤지지를 따투도 면도 따투고요.
And then when you were thinking, can I see the television and the refrigerator at the same time, you couldn't do it.
지금 생각을 쌤 나버렸어.
The reason for this is the mind became tight.
되는데 다 장로 찍고 채상 따투고도 되겠어.
And then you thought, can I see the whole refrigerator all at once?
되는데 좋았지. 뒤지지를 장로 채상 따투고 되겠어.
And then when I asked you, can you see the whole refrigerator all at once?
양자지 나버렸어.
And so again, the mind became tight and you couldn't see.
채상 통통이요.
And then you couldn't see the whole thing.
근데 이만 있는다. 라이끼들 말에 시름 제스게스도 와. 그 데레스 차이였어.
And as I said, there was it's the arising stage, but this is not like the arising stage, this is the destruction stage, the breaking down stage.
쌤 나버렸어.
because the mind becomes tight.
이제 단 남녀 지랑 바꾸면 지랑 당고 강바당 당고 따서 그대로 딱.
So thus, when you meditate upon the deity, on the arising state, just that way where you barely just look and you saw everything all at once, one must meditate like that.
이제 가서래. 다 다른 나라도 남중이 예와 남중이 예물 요들 검장들 이하고 같은 거 왔어.
And so when you meditate upon that which normally you become distracted by, you couldn't meditate on that very clearly, right?
이제 이 가서는 쌤이 하고 싶고 하고 싶지서는 나는
And this is because you were saying, I must meditate on this very carefully, I must meditate on it very well, and because of that the mind becomes tight and you can't no longer meditate on that which you easily become distracted by.
But that's not fair. I mean, that means that if you try really hard, then that's the opposite way you should be.
That's right.
Yes.
그 멋이고
You must recognize that.
Then no problem.
No problem.
이제 다 나중에 찬스를 큰 발로 많이 차고는 많이 쓰다가 와 나오네. 등에 찬스를 멋이 쓰다가 이 남들 찬스 때는 좋아지고 말했어.
And so, normally, when you're thinking of your house or whatever it is that you're normally distracted by, you don't have to think, oh, I must examine this, I must see this, I must hold this all in my mind. You don't normally think that way, yet when you don't think that way, you see it all very easily.
이제 남들 계란 남바지가 얘나 이 예우 요데 계란 검지 더 주출해 신이 더 유튜브에 맞으면 계란 강발에 영화 엄마가 사실 연도도나 이 얘만 따와있나 이 많이 거 차이로 와 이 신이 들어가는데 이 얘한테 계란 예우 요데 계란 검지 더 유튜브도 이는 네가 서울시다 야고다고 마선은 이제 드링이 계란 설라 예우 요데 야고다 서고다 연이 지금 말했을 때네 계란 멋이
And so this that you normally become distracted by, whatever that object may be that becomes your distraction, that distraction can become a great friend to your practice of the shine. And so just as you become distracted by that, then you So at that time when you become distracted, then just meditate on that which distracted you. Then it becomes a friend and an aid to your shine practice. But you don't have to go, now I must meditate very clearly, carefully on that. I took you through that exercise to point out how that works.
Yeah.
What if the distraction is not an object? Like I'm looking at the yidam, and it's like a hologram. Sometimes it's clear, sometimes it's not. But what distracts me is negative speech about myself. It's like, oh, you can't do that. Oh, give up. Oh, you're not good. Oh, stop it. That it's like speech. So it doesn't have an object unless I turn it into an object of a discouraged person.
Just let the mind rest on those words, on that sound, on the words itself. Yeah.
Like, give up, give up. Take it to us. 7 days, give up.
So then you have that word, give up, give up, give up, like that. Then just let the mind rest, non-distracted on that sound of the give up.
신행도 많이 받아.
The main point of the shine is non-distraction.
체랑 give up 생긴데는 많이 많이는 신행 대단했어.
So if you're non-distracted on and rest upon the sound of that give up, then you've achieved shine.
So, but I thought Rinpoche was having us visualize ourselves as the deity. So is this another step? That we visualize it
난
outside?
일단 나랑 나래. 니가 고치고 있어. 나중에 나야 나랑 나서.
맞아?
나랑 하고면 나래. 나중에 나야
맞아?
나랑 하고면 나래.
그래?
이내 너도 찍어. 눈을 보면 나랑 보면 찍고 보시는 니가 보시.
And actually, I was describing that as well, meditating on yourself as the deity. That's how I presented it to you. However, you can meditate on it in front of you. It's the same. Once you know the meaning, it's the same whether it's the one in front of you or one's own self.
Just 1 second, please. So, question could be recorded on the tape.
Rinpoche, when you're talking about visualizing and you use the term look or see, are you using that term in that we actually see as if there's an eye and we see a picture? Is it more that the mind has sort of a feeling for what that image is rather than actually seeing it with an eye?
Tikti, you did a tabu race, tikti ta, sit question your luck. Meet the number shape of Eshton go to the meet level,
세우다.
right?
세우다.
No, it's to look with the mind. The eye,
미리처럼 나 통통은 해보겠어.
if you could see the deity with your eyes, that would be very good.
좀 나이.
Just kidding.
그냥 샌프란시스코 투데이에 있었나?
In your mind, can you see San Francisco?
Well, if I see, I guess what I would say is if I see San Francisco,
Can you call to mind?
I have a feeling or an image of what that, I don't know if image is a term, I have a feeling of what San Francisco is, but I don't see a street or this building or that building. It's more a
제가
sense of it.
샌프란시스코를 디지털 야구전이 따오나? 아니 비딩 야구하고 있어.
If you had looked carefully all around San Francisco and you knew the details of the buildings and the streets, then actually you could just bring it to mind like that and see it in your mind.